Hi guys, putting here with the game for you on my tier 10 Japanese premium haha, battleship, the mighty Yamato, still the king of BBs. Now, my captain skills are going to be priority target, expert marksman, adrenaline rush, basics of survivability, vigilance, fire prevention, and concealment. My modules are going to be main battery 1, damcom 1 and 2, better aiming, and legendary mod. This is my clan battle build, which absolutely works perfect in randoms. This is just an all-around solid build for a Yamato. Now, as you can see, we are joined by Oni the Wicked and Mirage today. So if any of you did see the stream, this may be a little bit familiar. Now, I spawned in an excellent position. I like mid here. If we would have spawned up north, I would have supported more of C. But you know what? Right here, I'm just going to sail forward slowly, see what I can see. Now, any of you paying attention to my ammo selection will notice I have HE loaded, and I didn't even notice that. The reason behind that is because I got a new monitor, and I messed with some settings, and messed with something that the game didn't like, so I couldn't see anything, so I had to relaunch the game with everything set back to what it is when you first log in. So, like when you first log into the game as a very fresh account, which means HE is loaded by default on all your ships. Now, of course, I'm going to notice this as soon as I fire at a broadside Kreml, and I kind of get lucky here that this isn't the best aim shot, and I notice those shells going, and of course I immediately switched to AP. Luckily for me, this wasn't the dream shot to just outright kaplow him. So no harm, no foul, but I'm sure he's sitting there laughing and go, ha ha, noob Yamato shooting HE. Now, for whatever reason, our two battleships that did spawn at sea are completely leaving it. I'm sure it has something to do with the reputation of these two battleships that are coming in at it. These guys aren't indestructible. Okay, these Georgia can easily be taken out, Cromwell can easily be taken out. You just have to be aware of their positioning, what you're shooting at. There's no shame in actually shooting HE at a Bowen battleship. Especially these guys, if you know you're not going to be doing significant damage, just load the HE and take the damage. Now, I'm a Yamato, so I just go low pen. I don't care what y'all show me. But I don't exactly want to get close to these guys right away. I want to preserve as much of my health as possible. Because with those two guys leaving means I'm going to be the stopping force of these guys. I'm hopefully be able to take one of them out and severely weaken the other. But we've already lost one destroyer over there, and you know, it is a lightning versus a daring, so I'm hoping for a trade there because it looks like the enemy lightning is coming out. And, you know, I kind of, you know, communication, especially within divisions, is key. You know, we all forget sometimes, but you know what? Somebody's got to take the lead even within the division on what to shoot, who to shoot, who needs help, who doesn't, you know. You know, we need that communication. So I let Oni, you know what, I mean, these guys are falling. It's these two ships, and it's just going to be me, and, well, I'm reversing like, you know, a typical Yamato player. Well, he starts laughing because he knows I'm not the biggest fan of this playstyle, but you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is a very powerful playstyle for this ship for a particular reason. I don't understand why Russian BBs, a lot of those players insist on it this is the only play style when most of their battles aren't as tanky or as awesome as a Yamato. And the other thing is, everybody's afraid of the new Russian BB, so a lot of people are going to shoot HE at you, which means going bow in and just reversing, you turn into a sitting duck. Now, if you do it at range, great. If you do it up close, well, you're screwed. Now, I called for help from Mirage. Oni luckily took care of the lightning for us. But right here, I want to pause it and it kind of explain to you guys a little bit more in detail my line of thinking, because thought processes are extremely quick and me explaining them sometimes is extremely slow. There's a daring up here. Henry's going to do Henry type like stuff along here, so it is what it is. There's a Vlad here and a Vlad and myself here, which means we kind of have some cross shots in on these guys. Mirage is going to come up and take position around this island. So if these two guys are coordinating in any way, shape, or form, one is going to come out through the top over here, and one is going to come out this way. This guy will only be exposed to him, and as long as he's got distance, he should be okay. And the guy that comes out through here, which probably should be the Kreml, he's angled to both of us. I can go through his bow, but that's still a tricky shot at best. But these two guys, need to read the situation of the Des Moines here is countering the DD. Me here is countering these two. And God knows how much help we're going to have from this guy because he's already ran from there, but still. And then they kind of have to worry about Oni here. So, just coming out through here and coming out here kind of, the guy who comes out through the bottom is going to be the one who potentially gets hit by Oni. But what he can do is kind of sit in this channel. So it, while it should be the Kreml pushing out slowly, the Georgia could take this position while the Kreml comes out and around to deal with Mirage, who's going to be sitting here. But let's see how this plays out. Now the Georgia's playing it slow, going through the top as kind of predicted. But the Kreml is coming out through, I would say, the unwisest position here. He comes out here. I have his broadside. He comes out through the bottom here instead of through the top here, like right on the sea line. I have his broadside. And 14 kilometers with a legendary Yamato is not somewhere you really want to be, especially when you're going slow-ish. There's a good chance he's going to give you a nasty paddling. I do 12K, but, I don't get Citadel, but still, that's 12K off of your health. For whatever reason, we're getting resets on these guys, which means the daring didn't come out through the top. The daring should have dipped in to get the cap. Because what you're forcing is the Georgia to sit there, you're forcing the Kreml to sit there, to try to get this cap when they could be doing other things. And like I said, I'm trying to maintain this position where I'm at, which means I'm not going to be moving too much. And this is what I mean. He's broadside to me. That's a double Citadel. You are not getting that health back. And the daring is spotted. You got to get the cap, Steedies. They clearly control C. It would have been an easy cap for this gentleman. But instead, he's got two battleships trying to get the cap. And it's not hard to reset battleships. Now, while I can't get shots in on the Georgia, I can get shots in on the Kreml. Now, luckily, the destroyer did not torp me. He torped at Mirage. So Mirage just has to worry about these two battleships, and I'm like, oh man, I couldn't get that Citadel just to delete this guy. Now, obviously, it was the Georgia who got the cap while we're focusing on the Crumble. And this is what I mean. The focus fire on these guys is is important. And this was, Oni called out, hey, focus on the Crumble. I'm like, okay, he's dark. Well, let me just take a shot at that because my guns are looking this way. And it's not going to take much for the horrific traverse that is Yamato to turn back this way. But the Crumble makes an interesting decision here. He's behind the island, which means I can't punish him. And then the Georgia makes another interesting decision. I don't know if the gentleman beached or whatever, but I can't hit him. He's reversing. Let me see if I can hit something on the other side. It was potentially going to take our cap away from us. But it's at this point where the Georgia is finally able to get going forward. I'm going to assume he beached while trying to get this cap. I pop my spotter plane just to see if I can see anything. And I'm like, if these two guys are just going to sit here, like, there's not much I can do. Now, I started backing up way too far. I'm going to start going forward, and it's this point that the Georgia starts coming out. I'm like, oh, if this guy gets spotted, maybe I can punish him. And Mirage is like, don't leave me, don't leave me. I'm like, well, I have to go forward, because otherwise I won't be able to shoot at these guys. But I'm worried about the Cromwell. I really don't want to sit in Georgia's secondary range. That wouldn't be the smartest thing to do either. And now the Henry's getting involved in a fight. So I let them know, I'm going to shoot at the Henry because Oni's like, we got to get rid of this Henry. I'm like, ooh, sorry about that, guys. Got to get rid of this Henry. And I'm like, okay. Mirage is safely behind an island. So the Georgia really can't punish him. Is that get a nice 14K salvo off of the Henry? Oof, that was the chair. But, I can sit here and tank a little bit from the Georgia while he's taking, the long way around, which, for him was the correct decision, but it would have been the correct decision a while ago. But then he starts turning in. Now, I need to deal with this Henry. Well, sometimes I really hate spotter plane. I got to deal with this Henry for Oni and actually myself because this guy's rushing and I don't want to get torpedoed. But I also have to worry about this Kreml. I decided keeping Oni alive is more important than getting the Kreml. Mirage is working on the Kreml. We're getting shots in from somebody else over from A on the Henry, which, means he's not going to go bow in, or bow, of course he's going to go bow into me, but he's not going to go broadside to me because of, Yamato this close is really the last thing you want to do as Georgia's secondaries start coming in. But luckily for us, Amatina comes in to help us deal some damage. Oni's starting to shoot this guy to get rid of him. And so Massachusetts brings home the final kill. Now I'm going to turn my entire ship to turn my turrets faster. Because that Cromwell is still sitting behind the island not helping. Now, it's at this point, Mirage is really panicking. Like, oh my God, you're leaving me. I'm like, well, I need to turn my ship and, going forward full steam turns this thing better as the Georgia is going broadside to me. And I'm kind of, I waited for a shot so when these shells get there, he will be broadside and hopefully get some citadels. And boom, kaplow, he's dead. Now, if this Georgia would have pushed, if this Cromwell would have pushed out when the Georgia did, they might have been able to at least take out Mirage or possibly done a lot of damage to me. And I mean, as you can see, I haven't taken much damage. I haven't tanked anything really. But I dished it out. Like, you can't force people to shoot at you. But because I was able to preserve most of my health, most of my heals, I'm in a good position at this point to just face tank anything they can throw at us, and hopefully it's all very weak. As I get a nice 14K salvo on the Kreml. Now this guy can easily do a cheek shot, and I mean, which is, I need to tighten up my bowing a little bit, but the guy was low enough, he wasn't looking at me, and I could have easily turned to deal with it. Now, we are down ships. Poor Mirage died to the Kreml, which, in all honesty, at this point, love you, Mirage, but yeah, we don't need you or your radar. Like, DPM would be nice, but, there's one cruiser and a bunch of battleships. We have Oni. We really kind of don't need you, and, I'm sitting at a lot of health. Love you, Mirage. No, but no, serious. He should have been shooting at me, rushing me, because he would have stayed bow into the Montana and myself, even if he was burning me or shooting at them, because you know what, it's taking Mirage out. Not the wisest decision in my opinion. Now I'm shooting at a Donskoy who really can't angle, as I get a nice 9,000. But I slow down for several reasons. I don't want to run into the Massachusetts, and oh crap, I'm going to come out broadside to a Montana, which can say, you know what, I don't have equalizer lances, but I have equalizing shells. Now, luckily for me, when I turned my turrets, I noticed that it hit the island, and I'm kind of hoping that would be the same for the Montana, and no. But luckily for me, the Donskoy turned to send his torpedoes that will never ever reach me. Now, literally the only thing I have to do is sit right here and not get rammed, and I'll be fine. These torps aren't going to hit me. I know it. You know it. We all know it. As the North Cal is... Yep. I'm speechless. I don't know why he's going this slow in front of Yamato broadside. Once again, failed to actually get a Citadel, but it is what it is. Now, Oni secures C for us. I continue my reverse. Oh look, more torps that aren't going to hit. Now, the Montana has to come out through this way. There's a friendly Montana. There's the Massachusetts he's dealing with, and I'm sitting here. I'm just sitting here, like, just begging. Like, I don't care what way this guy comes out. I should be able to just absolutely wreck this guy's face. Now, if you ever are in a situation, you still want to try to go bow into the Yamato, even though he can just outright delete you. Just to make it difficult, but once again, I get denied a Citadel. Probably just, I'm going to say bad aiming on me, because, I did a lot of good, decent pen damage. But, you know what, here comes the North Carolina. I'm not afraid of a North Carolina in a Yamato, but I'm going to move forward a little bit. I'm going to use the Montana's corpse as a shield to stop this guy from trying to ram me. As I get a Citadel finally on this poor guy, and I look up and I see 5 Citadels and say, finally, ha ha ha. But I do believe once this North Carolina dies, it's pretty much going to be game over. He's going bowing on me, and not the wisest of decisions. I destroyed one of his guns. This guy's dead. And now it's going to be the post-battle results. Oh my god, die already. Now, I hope you guys really enjoyed this replay. I hope you did take something away from this. I hope you did learn something as far as and what you need to do, and communicate with teammates, division mates. Can't stress enough. Like, communication will overcome a lot of, communication will overcome an awful lot. We appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do love the replays you send us. The email for that is in the description down below. Please remember to compliment. Good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and have yourselves one heck of a great day.